Hi, this is Alex, and in this video today I'm going to be talking about how much it costs to get started teaching English abroad. Whether you're planning to go to South Korea, Vietnam, or one of the other neighboring countries that are good for teaching English abroad. So I'm going to break down the exact costs so you know how much you need to save up before you get started teaching, so that you're prepared and have everything needed to get settled in and get going, so that you're earning money and living out here in Asia. So let me crack straight into it. The first thing, of course, is to get a flight to Asia, whether you're flying to South Korea, Vietnam. And I found that costs on this are typically somewhere around $500 to $800, no matter where you're flying from in the world. If you're a US citizen, you're flying from the UK, South Africa, any of the native English speaking countries, and you're flying out here on a one-way flight, if you book in advance, you can get a flight within that range. And all these facts and figures that I'm coming up with here are from actually working with people on a day-to-day basis, helping them get started teaching here in Asia. That's what I'm doing over at ninjateacher.com. So these are exact facts and figures. Of course, flights vary, so you'll just have to look and see what you can find. If you book a little bit further in advance, you can get better deals too. So budget around that, call it $600. The next one then is to get TEFL certified. Now, I recommend everyone who wants to teach English abroad get a TEFL certification. The market is competitive enough now that you really do need one to compete with everyone else, to get a job. It's a pretty widely acknowledged qualification, and I found that at least 80% of people I work with have one, and if they don't, it's usually because they have years of teaching experience or they have a teaching license. So if that's not the case for you, you definitely want to get one of these. And there are a couple of different options. So it ranges all the way from, say, a $200 purely online TEFL certification all the way to about a $1,500 fully in-class month-long course. Now, which one should you get? Well, I generally find that this is the one place people try and save money, where it's probably not the best place to. So what I mean by that is you're making the investment to fly out here, pay for the cost of a flight, TEFL certification, and all the living costs of the first month or so. And then people want to save a few $100s on a TEFL certification and just get the online one. Now, the online one can be enough to land a job. However, I recommend if you don't have any teaching experience, you should definitely go for one that's in class. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle just from reading the manual versus actually getting a month of experience. Like, which one makes more sense? And in terms of confidence of stepping into the classroom, you don't want to be in a new foreign country and then have to worry about that on top of adjusting to this new kind of crazy country at times. So a great option for that is if you want to come out to Asia, do one of these month-long courses in Vietnam or Thailand or Cambodia. I think that's a great way to get started and ease into the culture and get that training and then find a job afterwards. Alternatively, it is possible to get an online one and save some money with that. Then the next cost is basically what it costs to keep you going until you start earning money. Now, if you fly out to South Korea, usually everything's taken care of beforehand in terms of the job. It's all set up, so you fly in there and you'll start teaching almost straight away. And then after the first month, you will get paid. So typically, you just have to cover your food and living costs, which I would recommend about $1,000 for that. That would cover things, maybe a little bit more if you want to be just, feel totally comfortable and taken care of. And if you're going to a different country, such as Vietnam, you usually need to get accommodation too in the first month, because that isn't usually provided by the school. So it's not hard to do. It's very easy to find accommodation out here in Vietnam, where I am right now. And it's not very expensive. It's only a couple of $100s per month rent, depending on what you get. So I would say, because the living costs are low in Vietnam, you would actually also need about the same amount, even though you have to put down money for possibly deposits and rent. You still could get by, with 1 month's $1,000, and that should cover it. Again, bring a bit more if you want to be more comfortable, more taken care of. So that pretty much covers it. The other thing that you do want to just be aware of is documents and visa costs. Typically this can add up to $100 or $200, which most people don't think of, but all the sending documents back and forward, getting them certified, getting your criminal background check, all of that stuff, which I've covered in other videos, how to get them, does tend to add up. Getting the visa, I have a guide on how to get the visa on arrival for Vietnam. The visa is linked to your contract if you go to South Korea. So again, that kind of adds up. But in total, you're looking at about $2,000 if you go on the lower end and you just pick up a cheap TEFL course and you just want to get in there, get going and start earning. Again, if you do a better qualification, in-class course, you're looking more at about $3,000. So obviously these aren't hard and fast numbers. Of course it varies. So, just be smart about it. But that's a general kind of estimate from my experience what it takes to get started. Now, the great thing about this is that's not a huge investment. It's say $3,000 and you're going to be making a really good salary when you're out here teaching, and you have a great ability to save. So both in South Korea and Vietnam, other countries too, China, you can definitely save like $500 to $1,000 per month. It depends on how good you are at saving, but it is possible. So you could essentially cover the costs within the first 3 months of teaching. So I think if you are on the fence about it, you're thinking it costs a lot of money to get started, well, just think about it as just an investment that you're going to get back as soon as you're settled in and teaching. And then it's pretty much taken care of. And then after that, all that extra money that you're earning, you can use it to travel, send money back home if you need to. So if you need to borrow some money to get started, ask your family, or you just spend a couple of months saving up to get started, that's a great way to do it. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Thumbs up this video to support the channel. For more videos, subscribe. Head over to ninjateacher.com where I help people get started teaching, so you can check out TEFL course options and job placement services, and you'll see a bunch of good resources on the website too. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in another video. Peace.